So if there's not enough demand to match the incoming thousands of new units in JB, the rental competition will start driving down the prices and the bubble could very well burst. Hey everyone, this is Ray. Welcome to the very first episode of the Malaysia Property Market Review series. So let's dive into what's really going on in the market right now. So today we are diving into one of the hottest topics in Malaysia's real estate right now, the Johor Bahru property boom. Everyone's talking about it. The RTS, the Johor Singapore Special Economic Zone, also known as the SEZ, rising rental, and the developer rushing in like never before. But the big question is it worth the hype? Or are we already paying tomorrow's price today? For those who don't know, crossing from Johor Bahru to Singapore right now can be a pain. You have to go through 2 sets of customs and sometimes lining up with thousands of others and dealing with unpredictable traffic. It's not uncommon to spend 2 to 4 hours just to cross 1 km of causeway. I personally experienced this just last month. I was staying in JB and had to head to Singapore for a client meeting. So even at 4 p.m, right, I had to line up for at least 10 minutes just to catch the bus from Woodlands to Bugis, which is also one of the main transport hub in Singapore. By the time I got back to my hotel in JB at night, I was exhausted. So I really salute those who do this commute every single day. It's definitely not easy. And this is exactly why the RTS has everyone talking. By the end of 2026, the Rapid Transit System RTS will connect Bukit Jalil straight to Woodlands North, and according to Malaysia Transport Ministry and the MRT Corp, the ride will only take 5 minutes. But what really gets people excited is this: there's only one joint custom clearance. So you clear both sides before boarding, so no more getting off, lining up again and wasting hours at the checkpoint. So for thousands of daily commuters, that's a total game changer. And then there's also the Johor Singapore SEZ, a cross-border special economic zone, bringing in incentives, infrastructure developments and also technology investments. So it's no surprise that investors' confidence is rising and property prices near the RTS have already started climbing. To give you some perspective, new projects were only launching around 1,000 ringgit per square feet a year ago. And now, the latest one near the CIQ is already starting at 1,003 to 1,004 per square feet. And that's just within 6 months. It's a huge jump and it shows how quickly prices are being pushed up by exploitation alone. But here's the real question. Is all this growth truly sustainable, or are we just riding a wave of hype? Let's dive in deeper. Imagine if you are working in Singapore and then you could live in JB, pay a lot lesser, get more space and still earn some Sing dollar. Would you do it? Let's make this real, right? So let's say you are looking to rent a master bedroom. So renting a master bedroom in a HDB flat at Woodlands, Singapore, the rental there is around Sing dollar 1,005, which is equivalent to about 5.2k per month ringgit. So on the other hand, if you are renting a master room in R&F Princess Cove in JB, the rental for a master bedroom is around 1,005 to 1,008 per month, every month in ringgit, right? So what does this mean, right? By staying in JB instead of Singapore, you are saving around 3.5k ringgit every month, and that's 42,000 a year just on rental itself. You could use that kind of additional money to invest in stocks or buy a 700k property to invest in that can generate rental return, or upgrade your lifestyle, or maybe taking your family on holiday, or just have some extra money left every month to spend or save and enjoy life a little bit more comfortably. And that is exactly why so many Malaysians working in Singapore choose to live in JB and travel back and forth every day. And guess what? The rental actually backs it up. In the past 2 years, the rent in JB near CIQ has surged by over 30%. Take R&F Princess Cove as an example. Before MCO, the master bedroom there were renting around 1,000 ringgit every month, and now they're asking from 1.5k to 1.8k per month for a master bedroom. So yes, the demand is strong, and this is not just because of the RTS hype. After the MCO, Singapore's rental prices also jumped significantly and the cost of living has climbed as well. All of this pushed more Singapore-based rentals to look into the JB market. And here's where things get interesting, because while the demand has definitely gone up, so has the supply, and it's growing fast. Just near the CIQ and RTS zone alone, we are potentially looking at a wave of over 15,000 new residential units in the next few years. Let's break it down. So currently RNF Princess Cove Phase 1 and 2 both comprises of a total of nearly 6,000 units, and there will be 3 more phases coming up, which is Phase 3 to Phase 5, which is expected to bring in around 9,000 more units altogether. Then we have Gen Rise by Majestic Gen and also Gen Spear with a total of around 1,000 over units there, and Exim's new mega project near the CIQ known as the Causeway Square also expected to bring in around 4,000 plus units in total. And then there's Sunway. They've already acquired a land near the RTS zone, though they haven't announced the exact figures yet, but we can be sure the numbers are adding up. Put it all together and we are looking at a conservative estimation of around 14 to 15,000 new units coming up in the CIQ vicinity. Now here's the question we need to consider. Can the market actually absorb this kind of incoming supply? Because if it can't, we are looking at a serious competition in the rental market, and the prices might not keep rising the way most investors are expecting. So shortly, I'll be diving in deeper on how job creation, population inflow, and infrastructure developments in JB support or do not support this kind of growth. To support all this new housing, we need job growth, especially in JB City Centre. But are the jobs really there? Here's what's happening. Major job creators like Microsoft, ByteDance, STT, GDC, they are building data centers in Johor. But these are located in Sedenang, Gelang Pata, and also Iskandar Putri. That's like 20 to 45 km from CIQ. So, and let's be honest, because of the distance from CIQ, most people working in data center won't be staying near CIQ. They'll probably live closer to work in places like Skudai or Nusa Jaya. So while all this influx is good for the Johor economy in general, these jobs won't directly support the high-density condo near the CIQ. So then, is it still good to invest in JB? So here's my honest take. If you can buy in at below 1,000 or 1,001 per square feet, and then you are going for a long-term game, then it makes more sense. But right now, many new launches are already going at around 1,004 or upcoming one maybe 1,005 per square feet, and even before the RTS is completed. And just to give you some context, in KLCC, surrounded by embassies, the MNC companies, and deep tenant markets, right, new condos average around 2,000 ringgit or some even lower. So if JB is already selling close to KL's price, are you really getting a good deal? And one more thing, in my previous property review of the RNF Princess Cove, which seems to be the most popular spot near the CIQ, I noticed something that made me pause a little. The mall there, right, it's still pretty empty. So only the ground floor has tenants and the upper floors are mostly vacant. So if you compare that to KL, even a random mid-tier mall has a stronger traffic and better occupancy. So let's be honest with ourselves. Is JB's infrastructure and ecosystem really ready to support this kind of pricing we are starting to see? So to wrap it up, let's go back to the big picture. The RTS and the SEZ are game-changing infrastructure. The rental prices have gone up and demand is clearly there in Johor Bahru. But here's something to think about. Whether or not the JB market can really bloom, that depends heavily on how efficient the RTS really is. And on paper, it's 5 minutes ride with one joint custom clearance, but will it really be as seamless and cost efficient as promised? If it is, sure, the market might keep growing. But if it's not, and we face delay, queues or expensive ticket pricing, what do you think will happen to all those properties already selling at 1,004 per square feet near the CIQ? Because many developers are already pricing their properties at a future price. But if the future doesn't unfold as planned, could we see prices stagnate or even drop? Worse still, with the surge of new supply coming up, could JB property market eventually face a bubble? So if there's not enough demand to match the incoming thousands of new units in JB, the rental competition will start driving down the prices and the bubble could very well burst. Not tomorrow, but maybe over 3 to 5 years' time. So if you're an investor, you have to ask yourself this. Would you rather buy in KL City Centre with price ranging from around 1,000 ringgit to 2,000 ringgit per square feet, where there's proven infrastructures, deep tenant pools, and strong corporate demands? Or would you buy in JB at around 1,004 per square feet, where the upside depends on the hype, future demand, and a market still finding its footing? Let me know your thoughts in the comment whether you will invest in JB or in KL and why. Oh, by the way, if you want me to break down the KL versus JB property in the next episode, just drop me a message and I'll make it happen. Thanks again for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to hit the like button and subscribe. It will motivate me to create more contents like this. Until we meet again, take care. Ciao.